You're going to close it temporarily.
Yes. But can I tell you, those of you who weren't there,
Never really got those things so that
I've had two.
yes,
Obviously, I've left the council. All people are happy. The chief exec of Cllr, okay? And I've been curious as a councillor that we were not told, we were told this the same. So there's that element that I'm challenging the council about. Okay. The second element was that Alistair, the chief exec and his deputy, met about 20 of us on Wednesday, and we couldn't have had a more frank, open discussion. They were willing to stay as long as it was needed. They talked through all the issues. They made notes, which they're going to come out with. They're going to send us the notes, and we're going to put it to everybody who's at this meeting of what they see. At the moment, we haven't got the exact figures because they're still unsure. They're waiting to hear this week what the council's budgets are going to be to find out what, if anything, they're going to get from Cllr. But what came out of the meeting was, I mean, anyone can add to this who was there. For me, what I got out of the meeting was, I want you to keep campaigning. We want to stay in the loop. We want to meet regularly. And he said, if I was going to have to close a pool permanently because of cutbacks, it would not be this pool. However, we don't want to get into the not in my backyard. We don't want any of them to close. And this is about trying to get the council to look beyond, because all I'm hearing all week is 33 million cutbacks.
I know
and I'm
that.
trying to make them see
Is this the
that's from that
council?
perspective. But the council have been doing a lot of work recently on community voice, on listening to the locals. And I think we need to try and change that dialogue from top down to bottom up. You know, certain prestige projects, could they not be put on ice? Because in an area where there is a lot of ice and accidents in rivers and canals, the number one thing has got to be keeping our kids swimming. And anything else is not acceptable. So, Deaton, they were in contact with me and said,
the police, right.
yeah, their leisure centre.
Yeah.
Did we want to go for legal challenge like they are? Well, the feeling of the meeting, and then I spoke at length to Andrew, the councillor lived down from Golfer. He thinks at this stage we should just hold fire. Deaton are doing it. We're going to have a meeting with them jointly. About 25 people signed up at the meeting to be part of the steering group. Anyone can be on the steering group. And we're going to meet early in January after the beginning of the holidays. And we're then going to plan a whole range of roles that people will take on. Those who like spreadsheets and finance, not me. Those who want to do technology and IT, not me. I can gobby and talk to councillors, but we want lots of roles. And then people want to do everything from fundraising and a weekly event every week that we do. There's over 1,200 being put in the crowdfunder, which is to do with supporting fundraising things. But I was just talking to some people. I've just come back from being with friends near Todmorden, and their charity just closed the pool, and they got money from various sources to put solar panels on the roof, and they've got money for a heat pump. Now, there is money for all these things, and because our council has not got a great record on its environmental credentials, they're not looking at that. They're not looking at all the number of extra car journeys people are going to make who can get to their alternative lessons. How should be looking at that, shouldn't they? Because they're the registered channels, and they're the ones that are running it. Yes. So in terms of the efficiency side, they should be. Yeah, I agree. And they haven't started on any of that. It doesn't appear so, but what I did get was someone who was genuinely finding it really tricky to even close this till Easter. They were trying to just find some quick shortcuts. He did explain. Does anyone who was there want to explain why it was this pool? One, it was a standalone pool, which meant we could still keep that going. And the other was to do with, it was easier to redeploy staff. Spending 60 grand doing that. That's a separate thing that was planned beforehand. We've heard lots of stories. I've had so many stories all week, and all I know is that there is a good chance that this will stay open if we keep the pressure on. And that's That's all we can do.
What do you mean reopen at Easter, Leslie?
Reopen at Easter. Because what he said is the water is staying in the pool.
Yeah.
And the chemicals they now use don't mean, because people were talking at the meeting on Tuesday about how when you close the pool down and reopen it, it's a really, he said that does not happen anymore because chemicals are much more specific. The water stays in, and somebody was even telling me that the tarp, the thing they cover the pool with, is actually really effective at, keeping the water at a certain temperature. Now, I can either choose to be really pissed off, not believe anyone, the challenges at the moment are horrendous. But in the season of goodwill, I am at this moment just trying to believe, because if we don't have a bit of hope, we'll all go, well. And actually, this could be an opportunity to engage a whole range of people who always say politics doesn't affect me. It's our voices. And we get the politicians we deserve, is what I was brought up with. So we have to keep complaining and telling them.
That was what Chris Malone said. CB, pull together. We're all pull together.
We're all pulled together. We're all swimming at Easter. Quite a few things.
We will not be beaten. Batley Combe Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Combe Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Combe Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Combe Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Combe Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten.
We will not be beaten.
Batley Combe Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Combe Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Combe Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Combe Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Combe Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten.
It's the hands up HI right banner adapted.
Oh, right.
Get your hands up, Alan.
Oh, very good.
It's all the Combe Valley, you see.
Oh, she's there.
Got a megaphone?
Yeah, no.
Got a megaphone, we'll talk.
Because I'm sorry we're late. We decided very unsensibly to walk down Merrydale.
And we've both been inspecting the ground from close quarters.
Very treacherous. But we're here.
Can you say something about the pool so we can film you doing it on
Yeah. So this is amazing actually to say. We packed the Civic Hall out on Tuesday. On Wednesday we had a room full of people cross-examining the Chief Exec of Cllr's Active Leisure, and people have still turned up on a Saturday morning in the rain and snow on the Saturday before Christmas. So absolutely brilliant. It's just fantastic to see you all here.
Don't forget yesterday, last week.
Oh yes, and a group of us had our hopefully not final swim yesterday morning, doing the length swim. So that's why we're looking super fit. And then we had just a little photo call outside. So it's been, this is what, 4 days running for some of us. But I think that tells you how passionate people feel about this pool. It is one of the hearts of this community. It isn't just about going in and having a lesson. It's about meeting up with friends, making new friendships. When people come here for a swim, they get to know each other, they go off for a coffee. It stops social isolation, particularly for a lot of older people. It is just not feasible to replace that with 2 buses to the stadium pool. It just won't work. It's going to be a nightmare for families who've got to get children to their swimming lessons. You know, parents are incredibly busy as it is, without having to trail the kids to the other side of Huddersfield. Sadly, that will mean a lot of children are going to miss out swimming lessons. And given the weather today, I don't have to tell people about all the water in this area. We are surrounded by reservoirs, we've got the river, we've got the canal. Kids have energy, and that energy will out, and we want our children to be safe. That means so we need to keep the lessons here. We need to keep the swimming club here. We've produced some fantastic swimmers from this pool. On Tuesday I was only talking about how I don't think my son would have survived his childhood without this place. He had so much energy. We want children of this generation to have that opportunity to expend that energy. A lot of us are older now, and it's a lifeline to keep our health. It's, you know, we're a bit, some of us, I know some people use the gym. I find it hard. It's a lot easier to exercise with the buoyancy of the water. It's a lot more pleasurable, and the water's nice and warm as well. So both for our physical health, our mental health, we need this pool, and we need it here, we need it in Slaithwaite, and we're not going to stop until we keep it. I mean, we had quite a protracted discussion with Cllr's Active Leisure the other night, and all he could talk about really was budgets. He did not promise to reopen it. In fact, what he said was the budget's likely to be worse come the end of March. So a lot of people said in the meeting on Tuesday that if this closes, there will be a bigger demand on the NHS. Right, people's health will deteriorate. You know, and what price is that? It is far cheaper to keep this open than to put even further demands on the NHS. And that means not only funding from Cllr's, we need more funding from this government. This government needs to start listening to the people who pay the taxes, start listening to the people who've worked all their lives, and they need to start giving more money to council so they can meet people's needs. And then somebody had said something about walking through Slaithwaite. Are people up for that?
Go to the roundabout and just stand there for a few minutes.
Yeah?
Save our pool. Save our pool.
Oh, I know you.
What's the answer for what?
We will not be beaten. Batley Colne Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Colne Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Colne Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Colne Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Colne Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Colne Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten. Batley Colne Valley Deaton. We will not be beaten.